Now, with the budget reading some hours away, the Executive Director of the Africa Center for Energy Policy, Benjamin Boakye, says he's expecting to hear something on an alternative deal to the botched power distribution services deal and the threatening energy sector debt. The Executive Director of ACEP, Benjamin Boakye, speaking to Citi Business News in Takoradi on his budget expectations, said he is also expecting to hear a total withdrawal of the Agyapa agreement, as its analysis proves that the overall intentions of the Agyapa agreement would bring no benefit to Ghana. Western Regional Correspondent Akwasi Annim has more from Takoradi.
The review of the PDS deal by the Akufo-Addo administration upon assumption of power was anticipated to have resulted in a better deal than what the previous Mahama administration left behind. However, the review, which saw government stake in the arrangement move from 20% to 51%, got derailed by the scandals along the way that even brought down the then Energy Minister, Boakye Agyei. Despite a dwindled public interest surrounding the collapse of the PDS deal, the Executive Director of the Africa Center for Energy Policy, Benjamin Boakye, says the budget must give an alternative to the PDS deal, as promised earlier, to help address the current challenges facing Ghana's energy sector.
For the power sector, key issues to discuss. We have seen time and again in the budget and as presentation by the Minister for Finance that they were going to come up with an alternative to the PDS agreement that got botched, but it never happened. Okay, so what is this budget going to say to ensure that we can distribute electricity efficiently for people to pay for the power they consume? We need that now. It is much more critical today than ever for us to have a clear direction on what we want to do with the distribution of electricity.
Though the President has already given indication in the recent State of the Nation address that the controversial Agyapa deal is coming back to Parliament, Benjamin Boakye thinks it must be withdrawn.
The Agyapa transaction, yes. Yes, I'm just hoping that Finance Ministry will announce that it's no longer going ahead, or it wants to discuss how we can optimize our resources, not just by looking at the financial side, but looking at the industry, investment attraction, policy evolution of the sector, because those are important to consider, not just myopic revenue stream analysis.
The co-chair of the Ghana Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative, Dr. Steve Mantiao, who is not optimistic about the budget addressing issues pertaining to the misappropriation of unspent oil revenues, is however urging Parliament to scrutinize the budgets on such issues.
Well, some of the challenges we've had with the petroleum revenue expenditures are outright infractions or violations of the law. And problem is, once they go unprosecuted, then you find that it creates a certain culture of impunity. So you get more and more of such infractions. You'll recall that in 2017, Pierre pointed out that some oil revenues had not been accounted for. And then in 2018, because we couldn't kind of push government to account for the 2017 money, we saw another amount that was not accounted for. 2019, it happened again. 2020, it's happened. And now they've all come together to amount to some 2 billion and over cities that have not been accounted for. In the run-up to the elections, 2020 elections, I raised the issue on my personal Facebook wall, and the entire Ministry of Finance came at me, asking Ghanaians to ignore me. I do not anticipate the government will make any pronouncements in this regard. But then I would want Parliament, in terms of their scrutiny of the budget, to raise questions about the unspent amount and to confirm if indeed these monies have been diverted to plug gaps in the budget, as the ministry indicated.